G'day guys and welcome back. I know it's been a long time between takes, but we finally made it. Gav's officially 4 days out from Port Macquarie 2022/20 Ironman Australia Port Mac full Ironman. So we're going to do a little catch up today and finally see how it's all been going with him for his training, how he's feeling going into the race, and find out a little bit like where he sees himself going at the back end of the race on Sunday. So Gav, welcome back to the show. I know all the viewers have missed you.
Got the grey in between.
Yeah. Tell us a little about the journey.
So, started end of 2019, made the decision to do a full Ironman. So registered for the 2020 Port Macquarie Ironman. Did the Geelong half in Feb, it was looking good. And then COVID hit and the wheels fell off and they cancelled the May instalment of it, then the September instalment of it, and then the May instalment the next year, the September version the year after as well. And I also signed up for a couple other ones thinking I might be able to get in somewhere else, and couldn't do the New Zealand one because there was no travel bubble, and then also Busselton WA couldn't do that either because they wouldn't let us in. So I've had 6 false starts now.
So you've signed up and registered for 6, or you've only...
Well, the Port Macquarie one's been postponed 4 times. This is the 5th go of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I signed up, I paid for New Zealand thinking we could do that March.
As a full or a half?
As a full, March last year, but we missed the travel bubble by a number of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So they just ran it with only New Zealanders. So then they postponed that entry to Busselton WA in December of 2021, and then that didn't go ahead because everywhere was open except WA, so we couldn't get there. So we're back to Port Macquarie, the original. So the 7th go.
So looking at, there's a bit of a journey there of some letdowns. Looking at that, what do you think because I think when we started the training, it was going to be 10 weeks of training for the Ironman?
It was like just under half a year.
Half a year.
Because it was.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it was like 12. It was like 12 weeks. It was about a quarter of a year to get to the Geelong one.
Yeah.
And then that went well. That was all tracking, and then so I had pretty much half the time again. So another sort of 10 to 12 weeks.
Yeah.
And a few weeks after Geelong, that's when COVID hit, and then they shut everything down. So.
And do you think your training programs, over that time, you've sort of definitely changed the way you've structured your training? Do you think you're doing less now, more now? Do you think you kind of have honed in at certain distances that you would have done to get to where you are now? Like if you could go back and go, I would have actually done this straight away, or done this. Do you make any sense?
I definitely learned a lot of things over the past 2 years, but there's been a lot of ups and downs in that. I think when COVID first hit, I was still somewhat motivated because no one knew how long COVID was going to last. So I kept pumping the training out from home, the indoor trainer and the treadmill, and couldn't get in the pool obviously. But then as the weeks rolled into months with that, it started to get a bit harder. But then there was light at the end of the tunnel coming out of 2020 into that summer. Yeah. And so picked it up again pretty hard because we're like, we're going to be
2021.
Heading into 2021 summer. We're like, we're on here. And then it was literally a carbon copy.
That's when Geelong was,
2020.
2021?
Yeah, so 2021.
Was it 2022?
Yeah,
no, it was 2021.
2021 did Geelong again, but then it all went back into lockdown. So that second winter of training was rough. That's when I was really
not really knowing. So do you find you were doing more just indoor rides and just sort of sticking with that?
Just trying to maintain what I worked on for probably at that point the last year and a half, because I still hadn't had a chance yet, but I was really struggling with motivation at that point, because I'm like, if we do another year of it, which we ended up doing all through 2021, I was like, ugh, but then managed to come out the other side of it, and it was like, all right, we're summer again, let's go again. So
So it's funny because if you think back to, I know you guys have watched all our videos. You did say that you weren't going to do any treadmill or trainer rides, and then obviously because of COVID, you had to change your game plan.
Yeah.
You've done a lot more indoor riding than outdoor riding, and you're doing a lot more treadmill running now, or
I did.
because you've done a marathon as well in that time, but not on the treadmill, like an actual marathon.
Yeah. So I did during 2020. COVID, we bought a treadmill, so that allowed me to run and ride anytime I could. And then that actually broke last year, so I went back to doing outdoor running. But I've done a lot of indoor riding just purely out of convenience of the times that I've had to do it. Like, you know,
it's easy to do because it's you don't have to leave. It's
plus
the same
I'm not
as
getting
Swift, right?
Yeah, so then I'm not getting and also there's no fear of me falling off my bike.
Exactly.
Training inside, so that allowed me to get the bigger Ks under my belt, and then when things opened up a bit, I could get back in the pool, so that was okay. But so
it's funny that you said treadmill that breaks down, because I actually know a really structurally sound treadmill that doesn't break down. Funny plug. Anyway, if you'd like to buy one, we sell them here. Anyway, injuries wise, what's sort of come up? I think you had something in your calf or something at one point.
Yeah, so I've had since that October last year, I started getting Achilles tendonitis, which got pretty bad. I'm still working through it now, but around December last year, I did the Melbourne Marathon, which was pretty rough on it because I was, I can barely walk on it in the mornings, but then when it warms up, it's a bit better. Yeah. So I've been working on rehabbing that. It's still hanging around, but I mean, it's not going to stop me from doing it. But other than that, I've been...
No shoulder injuries or anything like that?
Nah, I don't have the best shoulders, but they're okay for swimming.
Right. Yeah. What about like, did you have to do any rehab for that to make it healthy to be able to run? For anyone out there that's got a bit of find they've got Achilles problems from running, so what do you do to sort of warm it up, cool it down?
Yeah, well, for me, it's the first couple of Ks of running feels like someone's stabbed me in the Achilles.
It's motivation to keep going for 42 Ks.
Yeah, but once it's warm, it's okay. It's with tendonitis, it's more what I've been working on, loading it and stretching my calves, but also keeping my calves and Achilles reasonably limber. But loading it, I found has really helped with eccentric calf raises, and that's actually been the main thing that's helped. I mean, it sounds weird to do more work on it, like loading it, but it's actually kind of the opposite of what you think you should do. So that's actually helped it a lot. So
yeah, right. Run us through your gear that you're going to be using for the Ironman. Are you going to be running like you had a Specialized at the start, but you've now changed to Canyon, and that's a TT bike rather than an aero bike, and then like runners and stuff like that. You've gone through a few different brands.
Yeah, I've just recently changed to Saucony runners. The
the runner type runners. That's how advanced he is.
The runners, right? But I found they're actually really good. So the soles aren't burning out on those as quick as my hoppers were. So I'm going to roll with those. I've had a pair now for the last sort of month or so that I've been wearing in. So
comfier, or do you think your running style's changed and that's why you like them better? Or
no, they're just they've still got that same. I mean, the Hockers had that carbon insert that sort of had that rocking action. The Sauconys are similar, so I feel like that sort of forward propulsion. Sorry. I've got a tri-fit suit that I picked up recently and I'm going to wear. I did have a 2XU one, but it's sleeveless, and I feel like out in the sun for 10, 11, 12 hours, I'm probably going to get a bit sunburnt.
You know where the warm one or not?
No, not for the sun.
Goes too fast, obviously. So your prediction time finish for the race?
I think my mind around this has changed quite a bit over the last year to 2 years. More so now, it's just I'd just really like to finish it. I actually get to start it and then finish it, versus how fast I can do it. But as a ballpark, maybe like 11 hours If you go like an hour swim, somewhere just under 6 hours for the ride, and then if I blow out on the run, like 4 hour run, so 4, 6, 1, that's 11. 2 transitions in there.
I feel like you definitely go faster than 6 hours for the ride.
Hopefully, but then they have to factor in 5 to 10 minutes of transitions 1 and 2. So
how many poops will you take?
I don't know. Hopefully none.
If I give you some tips on saving time, is pee on the ride. It's definitely good. You've got to find a long enough downhill and just
warms you up.
It does warm you up. Adds the salty connection around the groin area at the end of it, which is good. Port Mac's done on Sunday night. You're not walking for a month.
Probably.
What's life look like after Port Mac? You're going to keep going with it? Sell all your gear and never do another run or a ride again?
Possibly. I still have my entry. Like I've got one other Ironman entry that's currently sitting, waiting for Bustleton WA. So that's
that'll be the sprint course.
That's December. So that's still I got to get through the whole winter again. So that's if I want to do that.
That's a while away.
Ironman graciously will let me transfer it to a half, but don't give me 2 halves of the cost of a full.
Yeah.
So I'd lose $500 odd if I wanted to just sub it in for a half sooner.
Surely the training will be much more palatable,
enjoyable, but
doing the half.
But I don't know. It gives me something to get me through winter. I think I'll start doing a bit more strength training again, like start incorporating some CrossFit style training, because I've had pretty much 2.5 years off that now. I just do basic accessory stuff with the weights at the moment, so I would like to add a little bit of that back in.
Will we see you throw on the grips and get back into some CrossFit competitions as a elder?
An elder?
Elders competitions.
Elderly divisions. Maybe.
42 plus range.
Yeah, maybe. I'd say so. Yeah.
I mean, at least you got a very good gas tank going into it.
Well, that's something, just no strength.
Yes. No.
Muscular endurance, not maximal
output. Alright, well I think that was good. I think, I know, like a lot of people probably want to know where you're at with it all and how you're looking for it, and finally come around and time to knock it out, and hopefully it's...
Just got to get to the start line, make sure my bike actually arrives in Port Macquarie.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You got a bike bag?
Not drown on the swim, not fall off the bike ride, and then...
Don't blow out your tyres.
Don't blow up my Achilles on the run, and I should get there.
Nice little power walk to the finish otherwise.
Well, I should make the cap. And just walk the whole marathon.
Yeah, that'd be
just enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
Just drink it in. It's like taking me so long to get here. I'm going to take so long to finish it. Yes. Alright guys, well there you go. That's where Gav's at. He's at the Port Mac, and we might do a little catch up afterwards and see how it all went for him. Peace.